Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens as they match up with Jared Goff in the NFC champion LA Rams. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for Charles Davis.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. Jackson on 1st down. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 28 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. Here's Jackson to throw.
And that gives him 9 for the season, and I've been around the game long enough to know this. 10 is the benchmark number, all right? People want to get to there because that really signifies that you've had the year that you've been looking for and also gives you respect around the league.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. To throw is Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Boyle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tucker with the extra point. Just how they wanted to start this one, in the end zone on their first possession.
And that just happened. How about that play right there? As you said, opening possession, setting the tone for everything. Now, I'm going to look forward a little bit now because everyone should be celebrating his catch in the end zone. The tight end gets a little bit of love. But if you're a receiver on the team, you should be thinking to yourself, boy, oh boy, things are going to open up the rest of the game if they have to focus on him as well.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Going up top for Kupp. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. But look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Jackson now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And an alley to run. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Operating from the gun. Jackson escaping the press. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as the Ravens push further out in front. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 17 carries, 66 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Throwing on third, Goff. And he'll find Everett there, complete. And he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
And whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Flushed out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And for the moment, this will be a 1st down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Jackson, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite-level production.
This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, you wonder how the Rams' game plan in Super Bowl 53 might have been different with a healthy Cooper Kupp. He was injured on November 11, torn ACL, out for the year. He was on his way to a 1,000-yard season in his 2nd NFL campaign. Had 566 yards in 8 games before the injury. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now Goff on 1st down. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Goff going to hand it to Gurley, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
23 yards, the final tally.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
The tackle made by L.J. Ford. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And shedding through the tackle. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's Goff off the bootleg. And that one's complete to Gurley. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Zerline, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Here's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 23 yards on the play. Jackson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to go back to Hollywood there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Touchdown, Ravens! This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A reminder that it's a short week for 6 teams, as we'll have a Thanksgiving triple header for you on EA Sports, starting with the Bears and Lions in Detroit, followed as always by the Cowboys, as this year they host the Buffalo Bills, and then another good one on Thursday night. And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now it's gone. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful, because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Now Jackson got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Tucker with the extra point.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Quickly from Goff to Cup. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
Out of the gun, Goff. And got a man, it's Woods. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
A 62-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Looking for Woods that time, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 21 yards there on third down. Goff now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. To throw is Goff. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Goff. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. A CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Gurley now, out of the gun. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
3rd and 2. Goff. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
23 yards, the final tally.
First and goal.
From the gun, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood, Marquise Brown there to make the grab. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
And now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, but it'll be second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. The dump-off gets him only one, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the gun, here's Goff. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Gurley with a carry on first down. He'll only get a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Goff. He gets it to Cooks.
Complete to Brandon Cooks.
Like 20!
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Now it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. They go.
Now Jackson on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Throwing again on second down. Jackson, that is caught at the 7-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up.
First and goal.
Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker with the extra point. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now gone. They'll find Everett there, complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that here's Goff. And Woods has it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10.
Let him know.
On first down, Goff. And that's complete to Cooks. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
3 down, 3 down.
Again, Goff. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 26.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back to throw, Goff. That's into the hands of Reynolds. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Goff. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Goff throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Matt Judon has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? What do your analytics tell you about going forward here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. Jackson, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 41-yard line. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Now Jackson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now it's Jackson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Here we go. He's crashing.
3rd and goal, Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And it's Rams defense comes up with a goal line stand. On 1st down, it's gone. And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight, and this one is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. This will be caught by Brown. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Over the middle here to Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Jackson, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about that.